Dörte, thanks so much for joining us again here at SuperReturn International. Today, a lot of the panel discussions have been talking about transparency and how important that is in the industry. Would you say that was a key theme?
Absolutely. It's also being discussed in great detail at the association among our members. And as you know, Invest Europe is a GP-LP body, so we represent both GPs and also LPs. And so actually, end of last year, we only issued our new and updated investor reporting guidelines and our handbook of professional standards. And that was also updated by GPs and LPs alike. And there we make a very strong call for more transparency. And if you speak to our GP members, they say, of course we need to be transparent. We do have nothing to hide. And LPs have a right, of course, to expect also to see quite in great detail also how, for example, fees are being calculated, on which basis fees are being charged and how they are reported.
Is it truly being embraced, that change, or is there a bit of resistance? Is it a traditional industry, for example?
Yes, but I think, this debate very much swept over from the US. And I think it originated in the US. And if you again speak to European GPs and LPs, they don't see that so much of being an issue here in Europe. So I think the reporting has been handled here differently. In Europe, we have immensely sophisticated LPs also. So I think they're really well, they're really real professionals. They are trained very well. And so in that sense, I think it is also quite a different situation if you compare Europe to the US. And so in a way, it wasn't a big change that needs to be embraced. I think transparency was also always important. But what we now did is, of course, to highlight it and to emphasize it even more and to address it in greater detail in our guidelines.
Is that a reputational shift as well, if you like? Does the average man or woman on the street see a change in private equity because of that transparency?
Yes, that transparency, of course, how the industry is perceived by the general public, that is, of course, a joint concern to GPs and LPs alike, and something that we are addressing as Invest Europe also quite a bit, because indeed, in the past, the industry was not very transparent if it came to communicating with the more broader public. And that definitely has also changed. And here the understanding of the industry has changed, that we need to be more transparent. And this is why if you look at our website, it's really, there's information there that everyone is able to understand and to digest it. And we have video clips, that show little animations explaining what private equity is. So there's really, so we are really making a big effort to explain us better, to our industry better.
It's quite a fast evolving industry now.
Yes.
That's quite strange for an industry that didn't change for a while, and now it seems to be embracing it.
To be fair, I think the industry has always adapted really well to change, and there were always challenges and cycles, and I think each cycle and each, crisis situation there was in the past, the industry had to adapt and change. So I think that is actually quite the amazing bit why I also like to work or be part of this industry, because they were always good in adapting to change. And now they're proving again that they're adapting again to a changing environment. And if you're not, you're not part of this industry any longer.
And do you think that's because they're acutely aware of sort of disruptive influences as well, if you like, that could force change, like technology and things like that coming into the industry?
Absolutely. Technology, that is also something where there have been a lot of discussions here. Of course, that GPs need to also make sure that their portfolio companies are up for, the technology change, and that they're, have state-of-the-art technology in their companies implemented. But even, LPs and GPs need to have, be ready for the technology change. And we as an association, we just introduced a new CRM system. We are looking into other forms to communicate internally and to improve things, improve communication, and that's every association, organization needs to do this.
Talking about change of makeup, obviously want to ask you, as one of the few women that I've interviewed this week, sadly, how important diversity is in terms of cognitive diversity, gender, and both generational, because I was talking to somebody earlier that was talking about how important it is to have a generational diversity within the company now too.
Yes, that is true. Indeed, you need young, old, middle-aged people. Of course, absolutely. No, we are also very supportive of the Level 20 initiative. That is gender diversity. Exactly. And Helen Smith is currently a member at our board, Invest Europe board. And so we try to support them first, I mean, of course, to that they have a platform also to meet at our events. We support them with data, so more information about how many women are active in this industry. Yes, absolutely, diversity is important. We also have something in our handbook of professional standards on diversity, encouraging also GPs to have diverse boards and also diverse teams, because I mean, there's empirical evidence that diverse teams perform better.
Do you think the industry exhibiting itself to be willing to change in terms of things like the transparency will cause more women to look at the industry? This is evolving, it is going to become easier for me to get in there and work in this industry.
I'm sure, absolutely, definitely. And I think also this diversity debate that we have now in the industry will help and will add to more diversity going forward. But it won't change overnight, so Level 20, I think, found absolutely the right approach. We are very supportive of this initiative, and we are confident that 10 years from now, you will have more women to interview.
So, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks,
Lovely to see you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.